What should I do with my bank accounts if I'm about to split for divorce? Hi, I'm Bill Farias, founder of Farias Family Law. Very common question. We just got this question again last week doing an assessment. Person moving toward divorce has multiple joint accounts and is trying to figure out what to do with them. Do you go in and you take half of what's in the accounts? Do you just keep the accounts together, keep depositing money in the account, stop depositing money? The answer to this question is, it is very case and fact specific. There is no black and white answer that applies to every person, every situation, because it depends. I know lawyers love saying it depends, and people get frustrated when they hear it depends, but it really does depend, and here's why. Because what you do with the bank accounts depends on the analysis on how that move will impact you financially. So let's take one example. If you are someone who is benefiting from having joint accounts, let's say you're the spouse who doesn't make a lot of money and you have your husband or wife depositing money regularly into a joint account, you have access to that joint account. If you assess the risk of your spouse going in and cleaning out that account, and you determine that your spouse is not that kind of person, your spouse is probably not going to go in and swipe a bunch of money and will continue to deposit money in that account, and that money will be available to you for spending, it may be in your best interest to just keep the status quo. You don't want to go do anything crazy with the accounts, because then that's going to be possibly interpreted by your spouse as a breach of trust. Your spouse will stop depositing money in that account. You will then be in a situation where you probably have to file in court to address financial issues, and the outcome may be that you will not have as much money available to you with a court order as you would just having access to the account. The other side of that coin is, let's say you are the financially stronger party, you're the breadwinner, and there's a joint account, you're putting money in that joint account. Before you go do anything with that joint account, you have to run a similar assessment. You have to work with an attorney to figure out, okay, how likely is it that my spouse is going to go in there and swipe a chunk of money? That's part one of the analysis, because that's something you have to consider. If there's significant risk of that happening, of your spouse going in and taking more than your spouse might be entitled to, then you might have to take action sooner rather than later. But then the next part of this analysis is, in what situation are you better off? If you blow this up and you go in and swipe money and there is a breach of trust and the relationship breaks down, and then there is paperwork filed with the court for a motion hearing, and you're going to get a financial order from the judge, are you going to be better or worse off than just keeping the account and keeping your deposits going into that account? So you have to really assess what the financial downside is. So number one, what's the risk the other party's going to take money? Number two, comparing what am I actually providing in support, not only to support your spouse and or children, but also to maintain the home. What does that look like versus if this blows up and there's a court order instead? Are you possibly or probably going to be ordered by a judge to pay more or less than what you are contributing to that account? So those are the considerations for this analysis, and my recommendation is, especially if you have a lot on the line, you talk to an attorney before you take action to figure out what you should do with joint accounts when you are splitting and or divorce is approaching. If you have any other questions, you can call us 508-675-0464. You can email us info@fariasfamilylaw.com. If you found this video helpful, you can subscribe to our channel, share it with anyone you think might benefit from watching the videos, and you can find us on social @Farias Family Law. Thank you. Have a good day.